Good morning, everybody. It's Michael DeGioia from the Affinity Legends of Wall Street Trading Room. So yesterday I had a very weak good morning because the stress of running a trading related business never ends. It's called Regulators Gone Wild. Okay? So yesterday I had to go into the office, my office at Rothschild Lieberman, 1 Whitehall Street, and explain my business model because there was one of the pencil pushers in my office said that I signed up somebody for training and I let them trade the next day. And as many of you know, many of you have been in the program for many years. So you've taken the program many, many years ago. And therefore you traded the next day. Okay, but there's also times when we do trading evaluations when somebody comes in from WTS or from T3 or one of these other trading companies, and the person claims they're already profitable. So I say, here's $10,000. $10,000. You pay $10,000 for the education program. And the first, I'm going to let you risk $2,500 to show me what you can do, not following the Affinity TPST method, TPST approach, trend, pattern, trigger, stop, target. As a result, okay, that person starts trading right away. The deal is that if they lose that money, that they have to follow my approach, okay? And that was why, Emery. So I had to go in there. I brought my 800-page manual. Okay. I brought books, DVDs, and of course, there goes the story about Regulators Gone Wild. All right. So that was that. But I also had the wonderful opportunity to see my old friend. Okay, April, and I have a great announcement. I have a hedge fund that I am working with for big boy trading job placement after somebody graduates from the Affinity Trading School. The deal is it's a great deal. I'll talk to you guys individually. So if your intention is to become a full-time professional trader for a fund and have lots of money to trade and manage, you're definitely in the right place. So, all right. So on that note, I will get started. Just give me one quick second. I need to let somebody know something. I actually have to just give somebody a demo because it never fails that I forget to do something in the morning. Just give me 1 second. I'm logging out and generating a demo. All right, I'm going to start putting in my list too today. All right, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm just generating a demo. My list is a pretty good one. This AM. Anybody, if you guys have any stocks that you want me to take a look at, please put them in the room. I heard Michael gave you guys, anybody catch the FEYE trade? It was a pretty good one. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had to log out, log back in, get it fixed. All right, so let's take a look at SWKS. SWKS, Skyworks Solutions. SWKS. Okay, this looks like a gap and go. It might be a little bit of a check mark. So, guys, because I didn't use the space down here, I'm just going to write these up in brown. SWKS. SWKS. Okay. Is a gap and go. Gap and go. Okay, maybe a check mark. Okay, so far it's very strong up. There is, with a stock like this, there's the possibility of a short squeeze because it's down so much. And it could get squeezed up to 92 on SWKS. Gap and go downs, right? Trip. Okay, trip is a gap and go down. It's gapped below prior support. So trip seems to have gotten tripped up, gap and go down. Now the problem with trip is, you know, it's the 78 is the key number on trip. 78 support, right, is now resistance. Okay, so on trip, we got 78, which is support. Now it's resistance, so you might get a check mark, right? So you might get the check mark play, and that will mean that you go up, zig up, and then down. So 78 resistance might be the area where you want to get short underneath it. Now, if it goes straight down, it can go down to around 72. $72 is target on trip, right? And why is 72 the target? 72 is where the moving average is. 70 is the ultimate support area, from the area from which it gapped up. Okay, so it gapped way up. Now it's an island reversal. It's gapping down. So there is the reason for that. Okay, now the next one. ZSPH. Okay, ZSPH Pharmaceutical gapping way up to 89. Now, I'm not too up on the deal stuff. I know that one of my friends, Robert, is very big into the deal stuff. This might be a gap and go up. 89 is above the prior resistance. It's in a very tight range. Usually this is, because this is a pharma company, okay, ZSPH, gap and go. Okay, News Pharma deal, News Pharma. Okay, that's news related to some kind of a pharma deal, ZSPH. Let's take a look at data. That was an IPO, DATA. No, it was. I'm sorry. I thought it was first data, but it's not. Okay. Data is a gap and go. Okay. It's a little bit close. It might run up to 100 and then fall back and do the check mark deal. So that's data. The problem with data, it's only a 4-star play. Okay, 4-star play. 4 stars on data. Next one. Let's take a look at Facebook. Okay, guys, let's look at Facebook. If Facebook pulls back, they've had earnings. If Facebook breaks the daily low, this is a day trade short. Facebook, short, below low of day. Okay, so just be aware of that. Oh, I freaking screwed up the other one. I don't know, whatever. You guys get the gist. I think we have enough ideas, guys. We're going to be jumping around to these different stocks. I'm going to be going small. I had a really good couple of days in the beginning of the week. I didn't trade yesterday. I had all that stress to deal with, and every one of my trades worked. So that would have been a good day had I traded, most likely. And that's that. All right, everybody. So trade carefully, trade well. We open in about WTW. Okay, let's see WTW. We'll take a look at one more. Oh, Weight Watchers. That looks like a gap and go, right? Possible check mark, WTW. WTW, gap and go. All right, guys, market opens in 1 minute. Be careful, trade well. Let's make it a very, very green week. SWKS, SWKS. Market just opened, guys. SWKS, gap and go. I'm going to watch for this to see if it gaps and goes and runs. It just broke the 1 minute high, but it could also fade and become a check mark. So let's just be a little cautious on this one. That's the 1 minute high right there. Definitely a nice chart for a short squeeze. Okay, we just broke, no, we didn't break the 1 minute high yet. Be careful on SWKS only because it's got a pretty wide spread. I bought some Apple too. SWKS looks like a 1 minute 1, 2, 3. There goes SWKS. Boom. All right, guys, I'm selling half. And I'm going to run half. Boom, sold half. Boom, shakalaka, 1, 2, 3, continuation. I'm selling quarter. 50 cents in 15 seconds. 42s, get out of here. Boom, shakalaka. Come on, 42 cents, for God's sakes. Guys, it dropped right away, so if I didn't get out of that half, I'm selling half my Apple too. SWKS is probably still going to go. Trying to sell some of my Apple. Okay, Apple broke the 1 minute high. Let's see what Apple's chart looks like. 2-day pullback on Apple. So Apple might be getting ready to go. All right, I sold half my Apple, guys. I'm going to run the back half on Apple. WKS never got out at 42. And there goes my profit. I should have been more aggressive on the sell on SWKS. It's a good thing I sold half. That was fast. That was fast. All right, guys, SWKS is now invalid as a gap and go because it broke the 1 minute low. You see the 3 minute? That's the 3 minute. Let's see the 5 minute. We into the day for 5 minutes. Yeah, we're still okay on the 5 minute low, but I don't like the way that it rejected. I think it's going to be a gap fade on SWKS. So let's just, I did catch that little morning burst of momentum. But I only sold half my position. I only had 100 shares, so. Apple's good. If it breaks the 5 minute high on Apple, we're real good. SWKS doing better. SWKS. That might have been a dip and rip. All right, guys, I'm just going to sell some of this SWKS. All right, I'm pretty much done on SWKS. Little bit of finagling. Was a fast one, not for the faint of heart. I still like it to the long side because the way it rejected the dip and rip. I would say if you trade SWKS, you got to trade it real small. I have my offer for 42 cents. I only have 50 shares. It's not valid for a fade. It's still valid for a gap and go. It never broke the 5-minute low. So if it gaps and breaks the 5-minute high, this is a valid long. And what I did was I played this little volatility, meaning I bought 100, sold 50, I bought another 100 here when it triggered down with a stop underneath the 5-minute low. And then I only have 50 shares left, but I will add back. My offer is still at 85.42, which is near the high of the day. I think this stock is going to go. It doesn't dip like that and rip without wanting to go. I've seen only time stocks do that is usually when they're ready for a big move. I'm still also long 50 shares with Apple. Only because I didn't get stopped out. I'm going to add to my Apple. I'm just keeping it as a marker lot. NVDA. Yeah, NVIDIA, great 5-minute breakout. Nice mention, NVIDIA, Michael. 5-minute high break at 30.50. Let's take a look at SWKS. I think this baby's going to go, guys. But NVIDIA is a much cleaner chart, guys. NVDA. Very clean chart on NVIDIA. See, Apple. Guys, Apple broke the 5-minute high. It's got tons of clear air on the daily. I sold 25 of it. I only have 25 SWKS. Apple, clear air on the daily. Apple's a good long, baby. I think it's ripe for a pullback because it's been up for 3 bars, but I think Apple's a beast. Apple's a great trending stock when it trends. Woo! Apple! Come on. Sell. Oh, good. I oversold. Shucks. It's all right. Tis the nature of things. Good, guys. Look at Apple go. You never know how these things are going to turn out, right? So I wasn't even really like looking at Apple. You know, I mean, it was on my list. SWKS, this divot was a good trade for me. I still think SWKS is going to go, so I'm sticking with it. I'm putting a stop past my entry. My entry was 84.13. So it was a pretty good entry. I'm selling my Apple here, guys. I'm selling some more. Mike Gargano, stop trading. Just log back and log back on, log out and log back on, Erwin. SWKS turning up. Apple pulling back, but I think a pullback on Apple is a good one. This early in the day, you usually want to watch. I'm getting out of SWKS. I'm just calling it quits. Apple I like, guys. 1-minute pullback to VWAP. I added on Apple. Not big size. I'm very close to my daily target. I have a reduced target today. I just don't want to lose money. SWKS off my list. Done. All right. Apple's still looking okay to me. I think it just needs to make a deeper pullback. Okay, guys, I'm out of all my positions. I got stopped out on the Apple. I added on Apple, and then I got stopped out only because I think it needs a 5-minute pullback. It probably will still go. All right, let's take a look at Trip. Guys, Trip just broke down to the short side. Trip going. Apple good to the long side. Guys, watch Trip. This is probably going to take out and break the 5-minute low. It just tripped itself up. 5-minute low break all in one bar. NVDA going, guys. Apple still struggling, guys. Apple is a cancel now. I guess I just got stopped out on Apple again. NVIDIA, NVDA. NVIDIA, guys. NVIDIA probably going to start going up again. Maybe not. Apple should bounce here. There's the 5-minute buy setup, guys, on Apple. 5-minute buy setup on Apple. Trip, guys, get ready for another short on Trip. All right, Apple 5-minute working so far. Apple's a 1, 2, 3 continuation down. I'm just going to have to just cancel it if it goes underneath the prior 5-minute bars low. Still a 5-minute buy setup possibly, so. I got distracted and I ended up doing something. I had made my day and then I got distracted and I now have to remake my day. Guys, if you want to help, please, everybody focus your help into the trading room so it helps everybody. I know it's done with good intentions, but you really just can't. When people are trading with, you know, it's really hurtful to do some of the things that you guys like text messaging. It blows my concentration, and it's really hard to be focused. So you really don't need any additional distractions. Okay, guys, I think if Apple crosses, this is going to be a short. It's a 1, 2, 3 continuation down on the 3-minute. I would not do the short because that wasn't my original intention, but NVIDIA, good long still. NVIDIA breaking out. If it breaks out above that high, NVIDIA is a very funny, Erwin. You're right. For you, Apple's not a good trade stock to trade. You know, so everybody, Trip was good for you. I think Apple may still go up. It looked like a 5-minute buy setup. It squeezes you though. I didn't want to trade Apple anymore. I had a good trade in the morning, and unfortunately, I accidentally, by being distracted, I accidentally bought Apple instead of something else. I wanted to buy NVIDIA. I bought Apple, and it really messed me up. So I still mess up too. I'm still green, just not as green as I was. I still like Trip, guys. I still like Trip to the downside. If you look at Trip, it's just consolidating in a bear flag. This is a great place to short Trip, in my opinion. It rallied up to the low of that area, and then it should hook back down. Guys, Facebook is below the prior day's low, right? Into that gap area. Apple's starting to recover, guys. Still watch this on the 5-minute. There's a 5-minute buy setup forming. It was, as usual, deeper than expected on Apple. It was done with good intentions, but unfortunately not approved for a reason. All right, guys, I'm going to be done with Trip. If it goes any higher here, this is my out for Trip. I do think it's going lower, by the way. I think that even though Trip bounced big, I think Trip is going to go lower because on the 5-minute it still has a big downtrend down. By the way, thank God I didn't get destroyed on Apple, because what I did was I accidentally bought Apple instead of NVIDIA. I don't think so. I mean, I think that the entry was when I called it, right? I mean, there was a couple of good entry calls on NVIDIA, but I think that if it's going to go higher, it'll make new highs. I think you got to wait for a pullback maybe. Trip is in jeopardy, right? So Trip might be done. It's not. It's a great place to short if it's going to go down again, or it's in jeopardy. It's gone up 80 cents. Well, actually, it's gone up $1, Trip. So I think Trip might be done. It's near the highs. I mean, that's why I thought it was a good short area. It shot up $1, and that's the kind of thing that stocks do when they are shorts. Oh God, he's 11, right? Is he 11? There are no stuck orders in 11. Do you want me just to sell NVIDIA? Gilmore, you got to talk to me yourself. Apple possible 1, 2, 3 in the 5-minute buy setup. Yeah, great day, Emery. That NVIDIA trade, Larry, that was the trade that would have cleaned up your day, and you hesitated because you were down. It's up to, right now, NVIDIA is at 30. Look at the beautiful breakout on the 15-minute chart on NVIDIA. My dad always used to say, he who hesitates has lost. In trading, that is very, very true. Trip just triggered a new short. It's got to go through those moving averages on the 5-minute, though. It's showing signs of wanting to go down, but it could also be signs of wanting to go up. So very careful on that one. That looks like a short again on Trip. Maybe not. I think this stock, until it gets out of this range, you can't really touch it again. It's also very spready. I think it's going to go down. Yep, Trip going down, just triggered. I made all my money on SWKS today. Made $32 on Apple. Yeah, Facebook is down. That was the call, was Facebook on the daily, but I got stuck because I placed the trade on the wrong stock. Facebook will probably go down all day. It's into the gap fade zone. Yeah, SWKS does look like it's going to rip. Yep, SWKS, guys, is ready to go. Guys, 84.43. No, that was 85.43 is where I was trying to sell it. Guys, look at Trip. I bought SWKS. I bought it a little bit. Guys, Trip, I'm going to cover it, Trip. Unless it breaks through these moving averages, I'm covering Trip. I'm short Trip from 70. Oh, there you go. SWKS going up. Trip going down. I'm covering Trip here. I got lucky. I think it's going to, I have a little bit left, only a back quarter. And SWKS looking good. Still long Apple. That was an accident. SWKS, I'm up. Trip, I'm up. Apple, I'm still down, but not down much. Come on, Trip. If Trip breaks below the low, guys, Trip is a beast. It goes right down to 74. It's got a 40-cent drop. Apple breaking out, finally. I'm only down a little bit now on the position that I never intended to buy. I'm covering Trip at $74, hopefully. It's got 35 cents more to go. I may just kill it now. Cover it and kill it. SWKS, guys. I took it at 84.48. It's at 84.76. All I'm going to do on this one, since I'm already up nice, I'm just going to put a stop past my entry. Yeah, look at NVIDIA. Off to the races, right? See NVIDIA still going, still going. Nice trade on Apple, Mike Gargano. Take my mistake and turn it into a good trade. I love it. Yeah, by the way, Larry, instead of taking the NVIDIA, SWKS, beautiful. Apple working. I think Apple goes back to the highs. Guys, I just sold my Apple. It's okay that I sold it for a loss. I got out of my bad trade. And I'm back to my high of day in terms of P&L. I had a good day after all. And I'm in a riskless SWKS. Whoa. That was an unnecessary waste of a half hour. SWKS, beautiful. Great trade management, Mike Gargano on Apple. Irwin, great trade management on Trip, cover some. Great trade, Irwin. Start calling Irwin the hammer. Okay, guys, I'm selling some more SWKS. Apple, guys, continuing. This is probably, look at the run on Apple. SWKS continuing, Apple continuing. NVIDIA, nice pullback if you're interested. There goes SWKS, guys. Not quite the high a day. Great work, Michael. Sherry, don't like the fact that you're holding multiple positions at the same time. There's no way you can manage these positions. One goes against you, you're juggling it. So like the only way you can hold multiple positions is if you've gotten one of them to riskless and have a stop on it. NVIDIA is a good trend. All right, everybody, I'm gonna do a wrap up, okay? And freaking Gilmore made more money than me today. All right, let's go through the stocks that we called today. We had a lot of good ones, okay? SWKS was my biggest winner today. By the way, Sherry, I mean, look, like, for instance, you sold SWKS. You should have sold half and ran half, okay, because the trade was riskless. That one you can kind of just let it go, okay? That's like, you know, this would be a good one to let go because it's breaking above the morning's high, okay? That's SWKS. And also, another problem, you're buying 100 shares of everything you trade. There's the SWKS is $85. We're supposed to be risking $5,000 or $10,000 per trade. HZNP is a 1, 2, 3 continuation play. Okay? It's $28 or it's $20. On that one, $5,000 is 250 shares. Okay? NVDA is $31. So NVIDIA, you can take on $10,000 dollars worth of exposure. NVIDIA, you can take 300 shares. So again, lesson from yesterday to reiterate. Okay, when we're trading, we need to take in consideration risk by dollar amount of share position. We also need to use trade management. Trade management is taking a position, running a position, okay? Not just buying it and making the decision to sell while you're in the trade. Buying a lot of stocks is not trade management. Arbitrarily cutting HZNP for no good reason, okay, is not good trade management. Stock was a 1, 2, 3 continuation. Just put a stop on it. Put a range order on it. Okay? I prefer range orders to stops. HZNP breaking out to new highs. Okay? When do we use stops? Stops is when the position's riskless. Range orders is how we get it riskless. When do we use stops? When the position's riskless. Range orders are how we get it there. All right, guys. Let's go through some of the trades that we did today. So the stocks that I didn't really, I'll start with the first one, NVDA. Okay, NVIDIA was probably the best trade of the day, in my opinion, from a technical perspective. Okay, NVIDIA was a beautiful dip and rip, 5-minute high break. Here's the 5-minute high break. So here's NVIDIA gapping up, breaks the 5-minute high, and just goes. Okay, right? So NVIDIA 5-minute high break, beautiful example of a gap and go. Okay, it was not the trade that I made the most money on because I accidentally bought Apple instead of NVIDIA. Would have been a great trade on NVIDIA though, I'll tell you that. Gilmore made a great trade on NVIDIA. Kudos, Gilmore. Okay. So even a blind mouse can find the cheese. Gilmore. There was no rush to sell that. It was a good trade, but we got him out in the 80s. We got out in the 80s. All right, so SWKS. The SWKS, guys, was also a good trade. Okay, great buy setup right there on SWKS. Okay, ran back to the high of the day. SWKS is also a beautiful example of a gap and go. Okay, beautiful setup there on SWKS. Okay. I do think SWKS will go higher. I think SWKS, if you stay with it, will eventually get to 89 or 90. Potentially even today, as crazy as that may seem. Okay. WTW, Weight Watchers. Okay, was also a beautiful gap and go. 5-minute high break on Weight Watchers. This was courtesy of Penny G. Hello, Smooth Jams. This is Penny G, Weight Watchers. So Penny G, beautiful on Weight Watchers. We had a good short on Trip. Okay, now believe it or not, this was a really great trade. The funny thing is I missed this big bar. I only caught a little bit of the big bar down. The trade for me was that one there and then that there. Okay, so that was on Trip. Okay, but we got some nice ones on Trip. Good trade mention was Facebook. Facebook on the short, guys. Facebook short was really good. Okay, there's the first move down. There's the break of the daily low. Facebook will probably trend down all day today. Guys, Symantec, SYMC, was a short today. Okay, Symantec was a good short, break below the 5-minute low. Symantec was one of our longs yesterday. SYMC. Right? Symantec was a long that we were looking at yesterday. Today it gapped down and was a beautiful 5-minute low break short. I did not call it because I didn't see it. John Streetman saw it, but he didn't share it with us apparently. All right, we had a pretty good day, guys. I think that's everything. I'm just going to check the whiteboard one more time. Oh, let's look at data, ZSPH. Yeah, data and ZSPH. Data, I forgot about that one. Yeah, data worked too. Data 5-minute high break. 5-minute high break, data buy setup break. Guys, watch data for a late day breakout. ZSPH. And didn't do anything. All right, guys. So pretty good day. I made one kind of fatal keystroke error or order error, thanks to distractions. And was able to salvage it and get back I did not get to my high of the day, but I ended up getting up to about 20% from my high. But that still wasn't enough to beat Gilmore. He's the man, Gilmore. All right, guys, trade well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, all.